Hi friends, I hope you're doing well. In today's video we are going to do some pest control, particularly slugs or snails or both, whatever the difference is. Anyway, so as I said to you before, in my shade garden tour I noticed there's snails damage on my hosta foliage. So friends, I did some research and there's different natural ways you can get rid of the snails or slugs. You can use beer. Yes, you can use beer. You can also use salt. I have salt here. And you can also use a combination of yeast, flour, and I think it's baking soda, baking powder. But if you Google it, you can see there's so many different ways out that you can take care of the snails. But friends, let me take you over here to the shade area. In fall, I left my foliage on my hostas. Normally I don't do that. Normally I would cut it back, but in fall I left the foliage, excuse my shadow, I left the foliage on my hosta, and then when spring came I cut off all the foliage. So I'm not sure if that's why I have snails in the garden. Normally I probably have one or two, but this year I've literally, okay, before I would see some damages, this year I literally picked off a big snail off the plant. I couldn't believe it. So we're gonna do some control here and see if these traps will work. Definitely will be giving the results. So if you have the same issue and I'm successful with the two control methods I'm choosing, maybe you can duplicate it and do something in your garden. Do you see all these holes? Yes, look at all that, friends. Just look at that. Let me see if I could even find any snail here. Even over in my normal area of my garden, I would pick up a container, like a planter, and I would see snail underneath. It is that outrageous this year. So I'm gonna do some control here and try to see if I could see how much I can get from them. Look at that. Yes, that's the snail. Can you imagine that? It's nasty. Anyway, so let's go back over to the table area and let's get these experiment all mixed up. I'm so excited here. Alrighty, I'm over here and I'm gonna lift this up and see if I could find any. Oh, this is heavy. Oh, okay, so here we are. See right there, that brown thing? Right here. That is one. Right here. Yep, that's one of them. So it looks like they're like moist, wet area. Yes. Yep, there you go. So I just moved that one. And friends, look at that. Let me find a stick to point. One here. See that? And here's another one. That's two. And then we have the third one over here. Yeah, so oh, here's one. Here's one right there. So it's almost like they like to hide out underneath like a wet, moist area. That's what I'm thinking. So anyways, let's go back over here and let's get my mix all ready for them. Alright friends, so all I did, I just added salt to these water bottles. So if you have plastic lying around, I went in my recycle bin and I just took these out, just reuse them, and then you could wash them out after, and then you could just put them in the recycle bin. And this was a milk jug, same thing, just reuse them. This was another milk jug, just reuse them. And this is one of those Tupperware you can take out food in. So I'm gonna put the beer in these 3 containers and then we'll do the salt mixture in here. And also, friend, I read somewhere where they said if you have ducks are really helpful. Ducks will eat the snails. Obviously I don't have ducks in my area, but these snails can be so destructive, friends, like really destructive. I know they could eat your crop. Like, they're so small, right? But they're really dangerous in a sense that they're just destructive. And friends, they do have benefits to our garden. They do help out in the ecosystem, or ecosystem, however you may pronounce that. And they're good food for the birds. They're also good food for the snakes. I don't have snakes in my garden. They're also good food for the turtle, and also, as I said before, the ducks. I don't have anything but the birds in my garden. I have a lot of other natural food. I have a lot of worms the birds eat in the garden. So I'm not trying to disturb my ecosystem in my garden. I'm just trying to protect my foliage from these snails, okay? So don't come at me in a comment below about destroying the ecosystem. I'm just making a point here. Anyway, so I'm gonna make these traps in the garden and just put them in there just to get rid of these snails. And as I said before, I'll be tucking them in between foliage areas. I already poured a beer in the 3 containers, and then I'm just gonna pour the water in these, and that'll be a salt mixture. So the intention is for the snails to climb up in here. So hopefully that works. I try not to cut the water bottle too low because then it probably could slime out of it. And I try not to cut them too high. So we'll see. And let me know down in the comment below, how do you take care of snails or slugs in your garden? I think snails are the ones without the hard shell, even though they do have a shell underneath. And friends, I'm just saying this because I did some research. And by no means am I a snail expert, and snails are the ones with the hard shell. So let me know what natural way you use to get rid of snails and slugs in your garden. I wish I had other natural insects to get rid of them, but I don't. The only thing I have here is birds. I don't have frogs. Frogs also eat the snails. I don't have any frogs, I don't have any turtle, I don't have any ducks, I don't have any snake. And friends, look at that beautiful, what is that bird? Oh, what do you call that? A cardinal? Can you see that? On the fence, look how pretty that is. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm telling you, I have so many birds in this garden. I love them and I enjoy having them. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let's tuck these in different areas in the garden, and then I'll give you an update tomorrow. All right friends, so this is the next day. Let's see what we have here. Oh my goodness, look. 3 of them. Oh, this is really creeping me out. 3 of them over here. So let's go over on the other end and see what else we can find. The sun is out, friends. It's such a beautiful day. All right, friends, let's see what we have here. Oh my goodness. Oh, look. Okay, got some there. Oh, I know this kind of gross. Yeah, I'm grossed out by this, friends. Let's go down by the salt. I don't know if we might get in the salt because nope, nothing in the salt, because the salt doesn't really have a smell. I don't think it does. So the beer definitely has a smell. Nope, nothing in there. So I read that one of the active ingredients in the beer is yeast. All right, so there's nothing in the salt, but as you can see, the beer works. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do another experiment with you and use just yeast only and see if it works, because I don't know how it works. I think the snails, the slugs, they smell the yeast somehow, and that just attracts them over there. But as you can see, the salt didn't work. There's no snails in the container. So let's set up some yeast and see what works. But clearly we know the beer works. So if the yeast doesn't work, I have to go and buy more beer and then take it from there again. Alrighty friends, I found new plastic containers and I'm just gonna recycle them. And I already have my yeast mix here. I just add water and a pack of yeast and that's it. Remember, we're experimenting to see what works. We know the salt doesn't work. The beer so far is our number 1. Yeah, so let's see if this works. And friends, I'm telling you, it's so gross. So I'm just gonna rinse out those stuff, recycle them, and just make fresh containers all over again. So when I was doing the research, I found you could add yeast, baking powder, or baking soda, and flour, and you make sure this is only yeast. Look at how it looks like there's flour in there. So this is just pure yeast. And if you want to stay on a more cost effective end, you could get your yeast from the dollar store. But let's see if it works first, right? Because you know the beers are very expensive. So we're gonna put these 4 containers and then take it from there. My friends, I have 5 of these water bottle and then the milk jug. So I'm gonna see if make sure I could have enough for 1 beer for all these. And yes, I'm using this container, so whatever, oh my goodness, I am so bad at this. So whatever spill, I have it contained in there. So I really think it's a smell or something the snails like. Let's make sure this is not leaking. Nope, this shouldn't be leaking. Nope, they're not leaking. So let's try this in the same spot over here. There's a lot of snails, slugs in here. You know, I'm so excited about the science behind this. What is it? How these snails come out of hiding and end up in here. So let's leave this here. And then let's go over here and let's see where I should position these. I'm gonna put one right here because I'm telling you, look at my king coral celosia, okay? Look at that. Do you see the foliage? The blooms are coming, but there's not much foliage. The snail did something. So I think there's snail somewhere around here. So we're just gonna leave one. Oh my goodness, talking about snail. Is that snail on here? It is one. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. It's right there in the open. So I'm gonna leave that right there and see how much we'll get in there. I can't wait to clean up this garden bed. I can't wait. Because as I said to you before, the snails like to go underneath pots and containers. That's where they like to go. There's nothing there. But I just have these here temporary because I have to come in, weed this area, plant the seeds. I have the zinnias making nice seedlings, so I want to put zinnias in here, sunflowers, and then mulch it. So that's why I have stuff on this bed, because obviously if you have put your containers on the grass, it's gonna give it a bald spot, right? So this is like my work in progress area. So definitely this weekend I'm gonna try to get this done, because over here I would say 90% also of my garden work is done. The patio's done, the plants are planted over there. Just this area I have to work on. Anyways, let me stop digressing. So we have one there. Let's walk around and see where else we can put them. Definitely down in the hosta. I'm telling you, they love the hosta. Oh, you should smell the beer coming from this. And who knows? Let's see. And this is the one I have here. Nothing happened. This is the one with the yeast. Nothing happened there. So maybe I could get rid of that and tuck it in here, because I'm trying to somewhat hide them away from the birds or even the squall from tripping them over. So it's kind of tucked in underneath there. All right, let's keep going. See all the damage there? I'm telling you, there's snails here. They are here and they're just hiding. All right, let's put one in here. Nice, right, fitting right there. I have to remember where I put it. And then let's go over to the flamingo garden bed. And here's the one with the salt. Nothing happened, but I do have snail over here because I saw right here, these are planted. You could tell from the foliage. So let's put one in here for the flamingo garden bed. You could tell that's a weed right there. You could see there's holes on it. So let's put one there. And I don't know if I have any in the rose garden, but let's go on this end and see if we could put one on this area up here. It's getting so dark. I'm trying to get this done. So tomorrow morning I'm gonna come out here and show you my results. Let's go over here. Look at these daffodils. They're dying back, so I have to come out here and pull them. Now is the perfect time for me to take them up. You see how they look? Just a side note, if you have daffodils, they look like this, you take them out. If they're still green, depends on what zone you're in, leave them alone until they die back. And this is my other stuff with my yeast. Nothing happened there. And friends, guess what this was? This was a marigold, okay? I'm telling you, the snail did that. It ate off all of the foliage. So let's tuck this in right there. This one right in there. Yep. All right, friends, I'll see you tomorrow morning. It's the next day. Let's see what we got here. Okay. You can see right in there. Alrighty, let's go over here and let's see what else we got over here. Oh my goodness, look at that, friends. We got more. Oh my goodness, look at that. And then let's go on this end. Try to remember where I put all of these. Let's see. Okay. I don't think there's anything in that one. Alright, friends, I'm gonna go around the garden and oh god. Oh my goodness, this is gross. And collect these. Here's the other one. Oh, this is creeping me out. And I think I have one tucked in behind here. Let's see what we got. Oh, 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 oh. Look at that. I think we did 7 or 8 of them. I'm telling you, I don't remember where I put these, but let's walk and see what we can find. Don't remember. Oh, here's one here. Oh, no, that one is a salt. I definitely have to go back on my phone and look at my video and see where I planted them. Just look at this big hole, okay? They're all that's from the snails and the slug. And you know what's the strangest thing is, friends? When I'm looking, I don't see any. But for whatever reason, they smell from the bear. It just brings them out from hiding. Let's see what we have over here. Oh my goodness, look at this. And they're huge. Oh my goodness, they're huge. And friends, what I did as a test, I left out one of these, the first set experiment that we did. And so if there was 4 snails in there, that was it. There weren't any new ones. So I think for whatever reason, the smell only lasts maybe overnight, and then the smell goes away because there weren't any more in there. But I feel like I have more on this end. Let me go over here with you and see if I could find any more. So once you do this, don't leave it out. Just take it and just discard of it because it gets really, really gross. I was like, what is that? It gets really, really gross. And I feel like there was more here. Ugh. Let's see here. Friends, I do apologize if I'm grossing you out because I am like so grossed out just collecting these. I really am. I think one was up here. Let me see. Or maybe not. Yeah, I'll go back and make sure I don't miss any, but I feel like I'm missing some. And then over here is this other spot where we put some. And we, oh, okay. Alright, there's nothing in this one. Huh. Maybe a tiny one. It looks like really, really tiny. I'm gonna leave it here, but I don't think I'll get anything from it. As I said to your experiment before. Oh, okay. I think the other side. Let's go over on the other end and see if I find more over there. Look at that bird. Just look at it. Oh, here's another one. I'm telling you, they just love coming behind here. They have the fish pond, the water fountain. This is like a haven for them. Let's see. Oh God, this is disgusting. Here's another one. Go over there. Let's recap our experiment. I'm just gonna leave this over here, okay? I don't need to take this with me because it's really, really gross. All right, friends, here's something more pleasing to your eyes than the gross snail slugs. Anyway, so let's recap what we did. So we used a salt experiment, And then I used the yeast experiment and I used the beer experiment twice. So clearly whatever smell ingredient is in the beer, I did some research and it said the active ingredient in the beer is also yeast. I don't know why the raw yeast didn't work. I don't know, but clearly the beer worked. I'm not sure if all beer would work for you or just a special one. So this one I used worked, and guess what, I'm gonna be making more traps and see how much slugs I can get out from in the garden. So let me know if you have any natural recipes you use to capture your slugs or your snails from in your garden, and how does it work for you. And yes, as I said before, we have an ecosystem. I'm not trying to disturb the ecosystem here. I don't have snakes, turtle, ducks in my yard, so the snails would have been food for those animals, but I don't have those in the yard. So for me, I don't think it's a big deal. The snails are just there. I don't know what else eat them. They say birds also eat snail, but birds also have other flowers and other source of food and water for them to eat. So if you're doing this, just keep in mind the environment, keep in mind the ecosystem, just keep that in mind. But anyway, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video, how to get rid of snails or slugs out of your garden. It was a fun experiment trying. All right, friends, see you in the next one. Cheers.